Game that dude.
GameCube again, I'm straight up out the Clinton town. Detroit City.
The MC Nerd Show. Welcome back to the MC Nerd Show with your host, GameCube that dude.
What up, doe? Yeah. And we back, 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 and we back. What's up, y'all? Two time for the mind, you know what I'm saying? We back again. Had to hit y'all with another one before the new year. I couldn't just... Y'all know I like to make lists and everything. Y'all know what I do, man. I'm trying to make it clear for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm really just trying to set the tone so when we go into a new year, y'all know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? So I got a few things that I wanted to bring to y'all before the year ends. And hey, Apollo Brown seems to be one of them. That's how we're gonna start off. You know what I'm saying? What up, though? Shout outs to Apollo Brown. Alright, man. I guess there's really only one way to truly start this off because there's only one way. Only one way to start this off. Just bear with me for 1 second. Listen. Yeah, there's only one way to start this. Only one way to start this. Oh, man. Title. I love you. Title. I love you. I don't know what's going on. Why does this always happen to me with Title? Alright. In efforts not to mess up the flow of the instrumentals, I'm gonna just play it from Instagram, so give me 1 sec. Alright.
You know the Lions won again.
See? Title playing. So while the title's playing, we gonna go Instagram.
You know the Lions won again, bitch. You know the Lions won again. Another one. You know the Lions won again. That's what we do. All we do is fucking win. Come on, bitch. You know the Lions won again, bitch. You know the Lions won again. Another one. You know them Lions won again. Come on. Cause all we do is fucking win. Woo. Best team in the motherfucking NFL. After this song, I'ma need my tickets in the mail. Bitch. All we do is win, we ain't taking L's.
Man, ain't y'all like 2-11?
Man, shut the fuck up. Hey, you know the Lions won again.
Hey,
bitch.
hey,
You know
hey,
the Lions won
hey,
again.
hey.
Another one. You know the Lions won again. All we do is fucking win. Come on, bitch. You know the Lions won again. Bitch. You know the Lions won again. Another one. You know the Lions won again. Come on. Cause all we do is
Of course, that's Lions win again. G-Mac Cash. Yes. See, I was trying to put a radio edit and everything. I was trying to be nice and clean with it. Yeah, I mean, but they was trying to get a brother to play the version that we don't want. Here we go. Oh, did not mean to do that either. Oh well. Here we go. Oh, I forgot my boy Primo Beats did the shout out Primo Beats, baby.
Hey, you know the Lions won again. You know the Lions won again. You know the Lions won again. All we do is win. You know the Lions won again. You know the Lions
NFC North champs. The Lions won again, baby.
Best team in the NFL. After this song, I'ma need my tickets in the mail. All we do is win, we ain't taking L.
Man, ain't y'all like 2-11?
Man, shut the up. After this game, we about to turn up.
That's how we do it. Hey, it's late right now, so I'm trying not to get too amped. But man, NFC North champs. NFC North champs. Yes. First time in 30 years since Barry Sanders, basically. I don't know why they don't just say that. Since Barry Sanders. You feel me? So, yeah, we oh yeah, it's what was they saying in Memphis? A cousin of ours in Memphis, they were saying it's litty in my city, right? It's litty around here, right? I had to stop and let y'all know Primo Beats did that one. G-Mac Cash with the hook, the verses, the song, just perfect, man. This is how we feeling. Yeah. I can't help but let that play. They do. Hey, they own something. They own a little something. You know what I'm saying? On the real, they do. They own a little paycheck because, man, the Lions have really done their thing in this, and G-Mac Cash and Primo Beats have been a part of their rebranding. And maybe not like, like it's not like I'm not saying the Lions called them as like Primo Beats. We need you to go get a local rapper or G-Mac Cash. We need you to go get a producer. We need you to make something here for us. I don't. I mean, hey, I pray it was that, and they already got the bag, but I doubt it was like that. But I'm in all seriousness. What I'm saying is, I hope that they do get, what they deserve, because I think that they have been part of that rebranding for the Lions. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it was intentional or not intentional from the Lions themselves, I think that song, is really kind of a way for us as, and when I'm talking sports, I feel like I can lump us in, if that's okay. Lump us in as all Detroiters, and even though we don't all live in the city of Detroit, but I think when it comes to our sports teams, especially the Lions in general, like we all are on one accord when it comes to them. And so I think that this song kind of represents how we've always felt, and then now it seems like the Lions themselves are starting to feel the way that we felt, even though, here's something that I think that really we don't talk about or delve into enough, is how much we really connects us, Detroiters and Metro Detroiters, right? Because we all felt the effects of the depression really, really hard in the city of Detroit, because all the plants, right, they all closed. They moved, they set up shop in other countries. And then slowly started to bring them back later on, but they really everything kind of shut down, and a lot of people lost jobs, people lost their homes, and that's in the city. Of course, the city was hit the hardest. I'm not here to play the shame or the what they call it, the misery game or whatever, like competition. I'm not saying that. I obviously acknowledge that Detroit was obviously Detroit and Flint, the city of Detroit and the city of Flint and Flint Township, definitely affected the most from these shutdowns, and the area surrounding. Well, for those who've been to Flint So the areas surrounding Flint too, because it's different than Detroit. But I'm getting off off topic right here, and what I'm getting into. What I'm saying is what connects us, right? Because we all felt those effects, but we all have, fought to try to come back. I mean, the city of Detroit is starting to see, growth and improvement outside of downtown, because obviously, I mean, downtown is really starting to come back. I mean, it's already came back. I don't even like to say it's not starting. It's already full-fledged coming back. It's back, and it's bigger. It's getting bigger and brighter every day. But I'm talking about the actual city of Detroit, where the real Detroiters live. You're starting to see little pockets starting to build up, and it's, you know what I mean? So, and then obviously in the suburbs, you've been seeing it since the Depression. So, we've all kind of had this spirit of like, we are winners. We're hustlers. We're blue collar workers. We work hard. You know what I mean? We all a lot of us work in different trades. We work in different factories. And if we're not doing that, then, you know what I mean? Like we're in the health field and stuff, and really leading the way in that. And like, we're just hard workers, farmers. If we're not, once you get into like the middle of the state and west side of the state, a lot of farmlands, a lot of real farmers that's Kellogg's is in on the west side of the state in Battle Creek. So like it's all of it is not easy work. You know what I mean? It obviously, it can pay well, but it's not easy work. Yeah, I mean, and that's the spirit that we have. You know what I mean? That's the spirit of Detroit and Detroiters, and honestly, Michiganders in general. You know what I mean? So the Lions this year, I think, have really embodied that. And all the Detroit sports teams, when they truly embody that, man, like, it's crazy. When they truly like accept what Detroit is, and not try to run away from it because Detroit has, some problems, which every major city does, right? You know what I mean? It's just that for whatever reason, I mean, we're not going to dive into all of that right here. We're going to need a lot more time than what we got for this podcast to really dive into why Detroit is the way that it is, or has been, because I do think that it's slowly progressing. Or quick, I mean, depending on how you look at it, quickly progressing. I mean, that's not for me to say. So, I mean, I say all that to say, like, when all these Detroit teams truly embody what the spirit of Detroit is, and that hard work and hustling and trying to achieve your biggest dreams and your biggest goals, and really having the plans to do it and making it happen and setting a blueprint for like the rest of the world. I mean, since, from Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, up to, Malcolm X spent time here. We're talking Motown, we're talking Stevie Wonder, we're talking the Supremes, the Temptations. I mean, the list honestly goes on to how Detroit affects the American culture. At this point, and that's why they have a spot on Thanksgiving. That's how. You know what I mean? Like, it's that for them to even have the opportunity to step to the NFL and be like, hey, this is something we've been doing. This is something we started, and we want to have a Thanksgiving game. And for the NFL to even be like, yeah, of course. Because they know what Detroit means to this country. In all things. You know what I mean? That it's truly special, and I'm not just saying that to say like it's the only place, right? But it's one of those places, and often it gets forgotten when they talk about those places, right? They talk about New York City. They talk about Chicago. They talk about L.A. They talk about Miami. They talk about Atlanta. They talk about New Orleans. They talk about Oakland, which is our brother, our sister. Oakland. The Bay is like Detroit. Detroit is like the Bay. They get mentioned more often than we do. And I feel like we should get mentioned just as much as they do, because we are like them. Their influence is like us. Our influence is just like theirs, and the impact that we've had in American culture. So I feel like when the teams truly embody that, then they've been successful, right? You talk about the Bad Boy Pistons. Those Bad Boy Pistons embodied what Detroit was in the late 80s. And to kind of bring it back full circle, what I've been talking about through the last few weeks, that's why, Valid and Stretch, them doing that Bill and Isaiah project has really had such an impact in the city of Detroit, and why, like, the people that like that hippity hoppity, as I like to call it, which is like that real hip hop, as a lot of people like to say, that lyrical miracle. I call it the hippity hoppity. We like that hippity hoppity. We've been raving about it because it's all of that embodies what Detroit is. That Bad Boys Pistons, that mid '90s Red Wings that was just banging on people. That had rest in peace the Europeans. I apologize. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what their nickname was, but there was like 5 guys, I believe, that was a lot of them were European, and they were part of the team, the Red Wings team in the 90s, that won a lot of those championships. And then unfortunately at some point they were, I believe, celebrating a championship, and their limo was in a car accident. I think it was snowing or something like that, and a majority of those guys that were part of that crew would, I apologize for not knowing their nickname, but a lot of them lost their lives. So it was a very unfortunate event, and that team wasn't able to kind of continue that success, obviously. That's, I just wanted to make sure I acknowledge them as I'm talking about that team. But same thing with the 03-04 Pistons, that going to work Pistons. That was their slogan. Their slogan was going to work, going to work. So, that was their thing. So it was, it's always been Detroit's thing. I'm trying to think if I don't know baseball well enough to sit here and tell y'all that the was it 86 or 84 Tigers that won the championship, if they embodied Detroit. I don't know. I watched some documentaries. It looked like it, but I wasn't alive. I've studied basketball enough to know that how impactful the Bad Boy Pistons were in the city of Detroit. And my dad is a huge Michael Jordan fan. Because like I said before, my family's not from here. Not from Detroit. Not from this area that I live in currently, right? And that I kind of grew up in. So my family's Chicago Bulls fans. So I watched I shouldn't say Chicago Bulls fans. Michael Jordan fans, my dad was. So I grew up watching like every Michael Jordan documentary. So I know what the Bad Boy Pistons meant for Michael. So I know what they meant for the city of Detroit, because I know Detroit and the Metro Detroit now. You know what I mean? Like, this is my home. I know what's up. So all those teams, the 03-04, I lived at here in this, in the metro area. So I know what that meant for us here. I know, like, when they won the championship, my parents had season tickets at that time, and we had they shared season tickets with another family that I went to school with, and we had like this Pistons flag that they got from the Palace at the store. I think I don't know. I don't know if it was part of like the season tickets, like they gave it to them or something they wanted, or they just ended up buying it. But whatever the case, we had this flag, which was kind of funny because we really didn't have like flags in our house or anything like that. But we had this Pistons flag because we was all down for the Pistons at the time. As much as Michael Jordan had retired, my dad, we was living here for a while. So like my dad really like kind of fell in love with that Pistons squad and that team. And so they was going to the games all the time. And I remember when we won the championship, and I remember having my Pistons flag, and my brother and I, we went outside and we started waving it around outside. We was yelling outside. And I remember like nobody really caring. I don't know if it's because our neighbors just wasn't into it. Or if they was like into it too, and they just was like, because I remember it being like kind of late, but it wasn't a big deal. And we was out there for a minute, kind of just being loud and like excited that the Pistons won championship, and like I didn't even truly like know what that meant as far as like financially for the city, financially for the team. You know what I mean? I didn't understand what that truly meant. I didn't know. I don't think I even knew that there was. As much as those documentaries, I thought that maybe that was just like a Bulls thing because they started winning. Like I didn't know parades were a thing. I don't think at the time. That was kind of what caused me to realize, like, okay, you win, you get a parade after. So yeah, man, I done went off a true tangent, but I just feel good that the Lions are NFC North champs. With Dilla playing, I got it on shuffle. This is actually one that I have a vinyl to. I might do another video soon. I don't have many vinyl, but this is cool. Kind of some of the little stuff that I got that I was able to find when I been able to find vinyl. So, man, yeah, Lions. This is gonna be cool. I'm excited to see them in the playoffs. I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast before, but I went to Calvin Johnson's last home game. So I went to, and it's not like any of us knew it. I don't even know if Calvin Johnson knew it at the time, but they went to the playoffs. It was their last game. They won that game, and then they went to the playoffs. I think oh man, I almost wanted to say it was Jackson. That was my initial gut reaction, was to say it was Jacksonville. So I'm going to run with it because that was my gut reaction. But I really don't remember who they played that night. It might have even been the Cowboys, which is sad that I don't remember that. But it was either Cowboys or it was Jacksonville. Somebody send me, comments, whatever, hook me up because I don't remember. I think that, I got it in my phone. So if I find it, or, after this, I'm going to post it with this. Whoo, look how that worked. All right, check it. I'm going to post it with what I'm talking about right now, because I do have the video of one of his last touchdowns in Ford Field. So shout out to Calvin Johnson. Yeah, I mean, I used to, not to give away too much, but, let's just say we have similar, whatever. People, y'all know my name anyways. Anyways, we got similar names. So I used to tell people we were related. And it was just funny. So I used to tell people, yeah, man, that's cousin Calvin. So shout out to Calvin Johnson. And yeah, man. So it's been a minute. I've been to the game. I've never been to a playoff game. That would be really cool one day to go to that. So it'd be nice for the Lions to make this a regular thing for us. You know what I mean? I don't want this to be a one and done thing. I think that we have the potential to truly, in the culture, right? That's the thing. You got to have the culture, right? I'll tell you something real quick. I went to school. We had a lot of talent, right? We had some kids that excelled at other sports in a way that would let you know, okay, they're coachable in other sports. They excel in other sports. They're going to, state competitions or far in the playoffs in these other sports at our school. For whatever reason, in football, we couldn't. My dad wanted me to go to a different school multiple times. I had, he knew people that, a couple coaches at different schools, and they definitely, I don't know if that's legal or not legal. I don't know if it's like that in high school. They're really watching if coaches are somewhat recruiting you or whatever. But definitely, I had other high schools that wanted me to transfer and go to their school, especially like in middle school, because we kind of moved. I moved in the middle of middle school, so like my parents ended up being blessed enough to be able to buy a house like a little bit later. After we had moved back to Michigan. So, we were considering moving out of the district. So there was other coaches. Like there was one instance, I ain't gonna say with school, but there was an instance where like my dad ended up running into somebody that was a coach at another school for high school, but they helped in our district. In another district, they coached in high school, but they helped in our district for middle school. So they knew who I was. And they, told my dad, like, hey, man, you need to bring him out this way. And if you bring him out this way, I guarantee you I'm going to have him starting as a freshman. So my dad was like, yo, man, I'm trying to. you need to come out there. And I was like, yo, nah, man, I'll stay out this way. I got friends, all that. So, that was what I was on. But I kind of forgot even why I was even going this route. I do need a producer. But yeah, dang. So I'm sorry. I've been in a culture where we was losing, so that's what I was getting into. All right, cool. Thank you. So I was getting into the fact that the Lions have a losing culture. Like, I know what that is. I lived it in high school because I decided that I wanted to, because I was a military, as they say, military brat or military child. I was so ready to call somewhere a home. I wanted to have memories, right, that I would be able to share with my children, actual places that I could go, right? Because so much of my childhood was, even for my parents at times, unless they're at least, when we go and visit my grandparents, they were able to show me some of the places. But even because we were gone for so long, a lot of those places aren't there anymore. Things change, right, over time. So I wanted a place and I wanted a space that I could call home and one day raise children in and be able to then draw from the history, right? Because as you know, part of the reason why I even do this in the first place is because I enjoy history. I like to understand why things are the way they are. Where do we come from? How did this become this? How did that become that, right? So that was important to me. I wanted to have somewhere that, I could call home and be like, hey, this is where I grew up. This is the high school that I went to. I didn't want it to be like, hey, I went to high school here, and then, we live in a whole nother country, and I'm telling you about where I went to high school, and it's a place that you can't even fathom with your head, because guess what? Nobody else in the family even lives there. You know what I'm saying? So, because that is my childhood now, right? So even though I have that from late middle school to high school, I mean, that's only 4 or 5 years. The rest of my life, I'm like, hey, this is where I used to, I try to tell them about, hey, I used to live there. I used to live in that country, or I used to live over here. And my kids are like, oh, that's cool, dude. Awesome. Wow. Yeah, you did it, Dad. You know what I'm saying? So, I said all that to say, I'm getting all sidetracked tonight. It's like we all sidebarred, as they like to call it. The Lions, man, they have a good culture. They're not on that losing tip no more like we used to be in my high school. Now they're on, they changed the culture. So now they're able to transition not just from this year, next year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, you know what I'm saying? Now it becomes part of your culture, right? So when you come and you face Detroit, you're going to get punched in the mouth. It's going to be hard fought football. You're going to have to earn the W. It's not a cakewalk no more. No fly zone, right? Trick, set the blueprint. He meant it for a lot of things like, hey, that's why I always respect Trick when it comes to the city of Detroit. That's a whole nother topic. But he was setting the tone like, hey, no more are we going to be the laughing stock of this country, because we know our importance. We know what, even when you think that we're down, we know how much we really mean to the grand scheme of things. Even if we don't get recognized, even if it looks like we aren't doing what we're doing, because we know we're doing what we're doing. It's just rough out here. There isn't a lot of what we're doing for everybody, right? So from the outside in, it doesn't always look that way, because not all of us are able to take what we're doing and then bring it outside of this area. So that's why it doesn't always look like we're doing what we're doing, but we're really doing what we're doing out here. You know what I mean? So that's how they're going to be able to bring it to the next level and really let people know, hey, the Lions are the real deal. You got to earn wins here. And if you're not good, we're going to trample over you, and we're going to keep going. And we're going to be in the race, not only for NFC North champs, but while I'm talking about it, before I move on, shout out to House Shoes. House Shoes was spinning. This is a good instrumental. Sorry, y'all. Let me pull up the NFL app. By the way, give y'all some inside baseball. So I'm not dropping my phone no more as much. I started because at the beginning here earlier, I don't know if y'all heard it. Hopefully I can edit it out and y'all didn't hear it. What I did was I had this tripod with the phone connection on there. So I set that up, and then I put my phone on that with the charger. So now, like, even if I wanted to do a live video, if I wanted to do anything phone-wise while I'm broadcasting, recorded broadcasting, right? While I'm doing this, I can even adjust. Man, I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, right? Because then I can even adjust this if I wanted to do any kind of visuals. But most importantly for me, really, because I don't do a lot of visuals just yet for you, or do I? Never know. Ooh, that echo went up. I didn't mean to hit that. Sorry, y'all. So I got it set up here now where I don't have to. I can do things and I don't. It won't drop anymore like it was. So, cool. We rocking now. But so let me check. I want to check the standings, right? Because we're 11-4. Heading into week 17. This is a gigantic game coming up this week. Woo! Playing the Cowboys, man. My dad's old. Or still, I don't know why I say old, but I guess it'd be for me. What before I said, hey, this was home. and like truly became a Detroit Lions fan. I grew up as a Cowboys fan. Just set the record straight. Dang, did I talk about? See, this is something I have to be careful with as I'm continue on with this podcast. I don't remember if I spoke to you guys about why I grew up as a Cowboys fan. But originally my dad's from Pittsburgh. His family is from outside of Pittsburgh. My grandma used to date Tony Dorsett's brother. And so, because they're from the same hometown, so then, my family, like, knew their family very well. They all went to church together, blah, blah, blah. So my family has followed his career, and then when he got into the NFL, they became Cowboys fans. So everyone on my dad's side of the family is Cowboys fans for the most part. So I grew up a Cowboys fan. When we moved to the Detroit area, my dad actually took me to a couple Lions games, and I was like, oh man, the Lions stink. But I really have fun at these games. Like, I enjoy this team, something about them. I see why there's a bunch of other people in this stands. Like, this is kind of fun. It's a really cool stadium. First one, I never got a chance to go to Silverdome, and it really stinks. But I did go to Ford Field. Actually, first game I went to is when they had the first game that they had the paper. It might have been the second game. First or second game that they had the paper bag over the head. So anybody that's a Lions fan, that's been a Lions fan, knows about the paper bag over the head at the games. And that became such a big thing. And there was literally security guards. I don't know. I really don't know the origin of it, but I know what I saw. And there was a gentleman that started it. Had started with the paper bag over his head, and he was yelling some stuff. And then security kind of tried to rush him. You know what I mean? They try to come at different angles and try to corner him. And then my man just took off in the stands. Anyone that's ever been to a game knows how hard it is to just run off in the stands, right? So this is crazy, man. So he's just running off in the stands, but like not tripping, like he's legit and he full speed. This ain't no like, okay, I'm trying to be cool with it. He just takes off, right? He's got the paper bag over his head still, with the eyes cut out, just the paper bag. I don't even think it had a mouth. It's paper bag, eyes cut out. It might have had a mouth, but I don't think so. So he rips it off and then passes it to somebody else as if it were the 400 by 400 meter race. And he was handing off a baton. Actually, no, it's more like the 4x1. And he is like, because he full speed and my man's seen him coming, so he kind of like stuck his hand out and started taking off. Like, okay, I'm ready. So I guess that would be more like the 4x4 because it was open hand. And he was like, oh, I'm ready. Give it to me. Pause. And so my man's got the bag, put it over his head, and started taking off too. Like Michael Jackson golden shoes. I mean, this dude was quick. Michael Johnson's golden shoes. For real. No doubt. So, I was there at that game. So I've been a Lions fan ever since, man. So we're excited. And I got to feel excited because the Pistons, man. The Pistons are down 27. 27, man. Look at this. Breaking news. Pistons dropped 27th straight game to set NBA record for longest losing streak in a single game. I don't know what to say, man. I really don't. Yep. That's how I feel. I don't know what to do. Let's see. Monty Williams describes team's mindset after setting NBA record for longest single season losing streak. So let's see what he's got to say.
Coach, how heavy was that number 27 weighing on you guys coming into
You know, I'm sure it was. I mean, again, when you look at records, you think of coaches. You know what I mean? But I'm sure the players don't want that attached to the name on the jersey. And was it, heavy? It's been heavy for a while. It's just the nature of this kind of losing streak. And, it's not going to change because we're grading the level of it. We got to.
Yep.
Coach, how heavy was that number 27 weighing on you guys coming into
I'm sure it was. I mean, again, when you look at records, you think of coaches. You know what I mean? But I'm sure the players don't want that attached to the name on the jersey. And was it, heavy? It's been heavy for a while. It's just the nature of this kind of losing streak. And, it's not going to change because we're grading the level of it. We got to do what we got to do to change it. Is it heavy? Yeah, I would imagine for everybody it is. Nobody wants this kind of thing attached to them. And, I was brought in here to change this thing. And it's probably the most on me than anybody. The players are playing their hearts out. I got to get them in a position where they don't feel tight or heavy. But, it's where we are. That's the reality of the situation. I don't think anybody in our locker room, on our staff, has ever been through anything like this. So I don't have any reference point for that. I've been through tough playoff losses, and this is relative to that. When you lose a playoff game, when you get eliminated, this, kind of feels like that. Basketball is what we do. It's the body of work that we take a lot of pride in, and you take pride in it because you want to win, and we just haven't done that. And again, that's on me.
Interesting. Interesting. Definitely interesting. Interesting to say the least. You know what I would ask, right? Is because, he said it was on him, right? So, and he might have been asked that, and that might have been why his response was like, no one in the locker room has experienced anything like this. I'm sure he had to have been asked. So if you're taking responsibility for the disconnect from winning, and maybe disconnect isn't the right word. If you're taking, this is why you got to be quick, right? You got to be quick in the room, in the media room. Coach, GameCube That Dude with the NC Nerd Jack Show. I just want to ask, if you're taking responsibility more so than the players for these consecutive losses in the streak, what does your coaching staff and yourself have planned to try to switch things up? Do you think that now is an okay time to do something different than what's previously been done? Right? And I feel like that's a fair question. Because at this point, right, now you're setting the record for consecutive losses. Your name is now associated in a negative way. This team is now associated. I apologize. I'm trying to fix the mic fell down a little bit from the shot court. Your team is now associated with something that is considered the worst that you could do in this sport. Most consecutive losses. That Nets team from way back from after the original Big Three was unsuccessful with Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and was it Joe Johnson? Did Ray? I'm tripping. Did Ray go there? No, Ray didn't go there. Joe Johnson? Was it? Was he the third? I'm tripping. Who was it Darren Williams? Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett. I don't remember who they ended up making their third. I think it was either Joe Johnson. I think it was Joe Johnson. Anyways, though, after it was the original, I guess the original was really Celtics, which had been Ray Allen. They just won the one instead of their multiple. They split them up. So now we've taken over that record that the Nets previously had. So obviously something's got to change, man. They were running. I heard they were saying sell the team at the arena today, which is bad look because we already just are renting the arena. At some point, the Red Wings gonna be like, "Hey, man, what's up with your team? Ain't nobody selling out. You said you was gonna bring the money back in too. You said you was gonna bring the person. You was gonna bring the bag, my G. You ain't holding your bargain. You know what I mean? So at some point, right, we gotta do our thing too, so that the Red Wings don't kick us out. I don't want to harp on them too long, man. It's been bad, man. Yep, that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. I want to feel like this. So we'll see. U of M got a playoff match coming through soon. We'll see. I don't know how to feel. I haven't watched enough to even, I feel like, comment. Honestly. But at the same time, I feel like I should say something. Because they're playing Alabama. And we know what's happened the last few times we played Alabama. It hasn't been good. No bueno. No bueno. Let's see if we can look at their record versus each other, because I'm curious. Yeah, they've lost 2 straight games to Alabama. Trail 2-3 in the all-time series, and are currently riding a 4-game losing streak in bowl games against the SEC dating back to 2018, according to the Free Press of what city? Who's this? Oh, the Detroit. That's what I thought, but it didn't say Detroit. So, we'll see. Of course, that game goes down New Year's Day. At 5 p.m. So maybe we've already been. Maybe I'm leading you to the game. Maybe we're riding to the game together. You know what I mean? That'd be dope. I appreciate you if I am. Let's see where we at though. Before I leave, I didn't talk about. I did want to say one thing because I forgot to say that the Lions, Detroit Lions, we end on the Lions in sports again. The Detroit Lions, as of right now, are in a 3-way tie for the NFC. We're 11-4. The Eagles are 11-4. And San Francisco is 11-4. And guess what? In the league, we're tied for second. Baltimore Ravens are 12-3. We're 11-4. Dolphins are 11-4. Eagles are 11-4. San Fran's 11-4. With the Browns and the Cowboys right behind at 10-5. So, just watch us.
Every journey has a beginning, but change one step along the way, and you could end up at a very different destination.
Shut up. I learned to be quiet.
Don't care.
But I'm useful. You see? I heard white people's skin burns off in the sun.
And we back. I don't know. I just like saying that. Shout out to J. Cole. So, what if I had a dream that Tony Stark, the Lost Tony Stark episode from last season, was back? What if? So new episodes of What If. Spoiler alert. No, I'm actually, you know what? I'm not going to get into it because this is just a brief. I hate you guys for something. Maybe top of the year, a little more depth. Actually, after I watch all through it. But it's been on point, man. I think, I don't know if I talked about, I think I was watching the one with Happy Hogan. That one was a dope little Christmas episode on Christmas Eve. And then they blessed us on Christmas Day with a little gift that we were missing from last year. So they hit us with that Lost Iron Man episode where he was on the collector's not the collector. Yeah, the collector. No, I'm sorry, the Grandmaster. He was on Sakaar. And then that's when he met Gamora, which led to, the Gamora the Gamora episode of her being on the finale of season 1, a part of the big Avengers, the multiverse Avengers. So I kind of gave that origin story, so that was cool to see that. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna spoil anything off rip here, and I haven't watched that 5th episode, so that one that came out the day that we're recording today. I didn't watch that just yet, but I will. Yeah, man. So I also wanted I think I was supposed to talk about Blue Eye Samurai on the last episode, but I didn't really go into it. But I wanted to talk about how much respect it's been getting based off the visuals. So this isn't just a anime show. Like this is I shouldn't even say that just a, because anime gets labeled wrong, right? It gets labeled like very geeky, nerdy, very comic booky, but like Japanese comic booky, so it's even more stimulating than American comic books and American comic book cartoons, right? But this is a little bit different. It's very like an oil painting, the visuals. They're very beautiful, very unique, very intelligently done. The way that the script plays with the visual background and how they kind of intersect, but like wove together like a paper chain snowball or whatever they call those like link papers, those little circles that they make to signify like snowfall, but you can do it in your house or whatever. So the way that those kind of just overlap perfectly is the way that the script and the dialogue of the script, everything that she says and everything that's being said, although you're hearing it, it's just like you're immersed in the visual, in the what you're seeing as well. So I think that's why it's been revered so much and why it's been getting a lot of accolades and I don't know awards just yet, but definitely a lot of recognition and praise. So I think that it's a very good series, and I think that a lot of people should check it out. And if you haven't, then you're slipping, and you must be tripping. Because if you ain't dipping, if you ain't doing the down, gosh to do. So yeah, before we go though, I do want to give y'all the top movies and shows, the MC Nerd Jock list at least, from 2023. And we gonna get this money. Check it. No particular order, but I do have Across the Spideyverse. Oh man, like that movie just it was a continuation sequel, obviously the first one, which obviously I'm sorry I keep saying obviously, but we found out that it's actually going to be a 3-part movie. It's going to be a trilogy. So the sequel was just as good, almost just as good. I would say there was a few things that maybe drag on a little bit, but for the most part, it was very good and just as good as the first one. Like I said, for the most part. So I got Across the Spideyverse, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, man. Just really getting to know Rocket and seeing visually, like seeing his story. I think I don't think I ever read it in comic book form, so I wouldn't even be able to tell you a lot of like his origin story outside of what we've just seen from this new movie this year. But Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was a heart. It really pulled at your strings, your heartstrings. It really was a tearjerker, but still like full of action at the same time. It was very well done, of course, again, as the previous ones were as well. So it made the list, made the top 5. Next we have Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers was everything that I hoped it would be. And for people that really liked Wreck-It Ralph, I was really hoping that there was going to be some type of reference or connection. As far as I have to watch it again maybe. I've seen it like twice. But maybe I don't watch it enough to know, and if someone knows, they can please hit me up. But as far as I know, there's no Wreck-It Ralph references, and it would have just been really cool to hear a Wreck-It Ralph reference, because they mentioned Mario and Wreck-It Ralph, and we never got to see Mario, I'm sure, because of licensing issues, whatever the case may be. But Wreck-It Ralph and Mario, I need to see Fix-It Felix and Mario next to each other. I need to see the plumber with the construction worker. It's only right. And see how much crap they give each other. Because Fix-It Felix, I think, is a handyman. I don't think he's a tradesman. I don't think he has a license. I don't think Fix-It Felix has a license. Does he? Does Fix-It Felix have a license? That is a great question. Mario's licensed in the state of New York. At least in his borough. He's from the Bronx, I think. Or Brooklyn. Or I guess Staten Island. Or Long Island. Or Manhattan, for that matter. But they're not from New Jersey. That's what they said in the movie. I just don't remember where. But anyways, man, I would love to see if Fix-It Felix has a license. Because I'm pretty sure Fix-It Felix is just a glorified handyman. And Mario is a true plumber. A true journeyman. Probably a master plumber. Because they family is master plumbers. Big Mario was a master plumber. I ain't talking about little Mario that was running around with his little homie Luigi, little brother Luigi. I'm talking about Big Mario. Big Mario. Mario. They probably call him Mario. And he was bigger than Super. He was gigantic Mario. Incredible Mario. Marvelous Mario, would you even say? Instead of Super. He was marvelous Mario. So, even he was a plumber. So I would really like to see them two, Wreck-It Ralph, or them three really, Fix-It Felix, Mario, or four, Luigi, Wreck-It Ralph, Mario, and Fix-It Felix. That would be really cool to see someday. Next I have The Marvels. I know some people wasn't feeling it, but I thought it was really cool to see and give an opportunity for Brie Larson, at least in the MCU, to kind of open up. Even though I don't feel like they did enough, because she never she had a brief moment where it was just them, but then Kamala came and now she was kind of in the middle, and so they ended up separating back. So The Marvels was good, man. It was. I don't think that it's starting to get. I don't think that it's getting the respect that it deserves or needs. But what can you do? What can you do? Except for what you can do. That's true. All right. So I also, to close it out, I have They Cloned Tyrone. Now that was a really cool movie. Jamie Foxx, what's my man's name from Star Wars? John Boyega, and then Monica Rambeau, actually. Let's bring it full circle. So she was on there, the young lady who plays that character. That was a really cool sci-fi flick. Yeah, man. So we got Across the Spideyverse, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, The Marvels, Super Mario Bros., and They Cloned Tyrone. Now, honorable mention, we have Air. Of course, that was the Nike Michael Jordan John, as they like to say. Now, TV shows. Speaking of TV shows, like I was talking about Blue-Eyed Samurai, so that definitely made the list. The Foundation Season 2. Foundation's been on point. Shout out to homie Jose for putting me on that. Loki Season 2 was on point. Ahsoka Season 1. And then to close out, number 5, or well, not really number 5 because it's in no order, but the 5th one, which really actually, if I was going to number them, would probably be number 1 for me for a while, would be the Ted Lasso final season, because that was just a really cool show. I was very disappointed it was over, but they did so well at the ending. It's almost like you were like, okay, I get it. We got to shut this down at some point. You're right. But by golly, it was a wonderful ride. So honorable mention, of course, I have Silo, and What If season 2. Yep. So like I said, I'm gonna check What If. I didn't get a chance to go see Aquaman either, so hopefully I can see Aquaman soon at some point and finish the What Ifs. And then I will get back to you guys about that. You feel me?
I'm good people, good people.
Yo. Check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. I already know what it is. GameCube. That dude. Hey. So. I really haven't listened to too much more. I know Big Crit came out with an album. Actually, let's take just a brief second. See if we can cue up this first song. Dang, title acting funny today. For the money today. Get money today. Hey, get money today. Get money today. Get money today. Hey, get your money today. We get money today. You get your money today. Hey. We getting money today. I apologize. Title's acting funny. I don't owe you money, so don't play me like no dummy. As my friend, my homie Craig would say, they looking real bummy. Well. Yeah, so I guess we're not going to play it off of Tidal. So no more Big Crit. Oh, here we go. Boom, baby. Now we're back. Cue him up. This is the beginning track.
They kiss, no mistletoe. I flicks the dash, fist bowl the glass, hit wrist the screen, block out the sun, 10%. I beam my beams, I keen my dream, taking off like a rocket. Peep those petty perpetrators, always picking for pockets. Play that patient, went from paper, place to paper deposits. Now we praying our people profit, cause they see how we popping. Over red and vodka, keep a jitty knocker, in a pussy proper politicking. With my player partners over shrimp and lobster, master shifting. Watch me feed the family, bitch, I'm Gordon Ramsay, seal the salmon with a lemon squeeze. That's far from man with recipe.
All right, yeah. So that sounds dope. I'm sure I'm gonna like it once I finally get down time to sit down and listen to that. Like I was trying to say, I haven't listened to a whole lot of new stuff since the last time we spoke. But I do want to talk about what I've been listening to this year. So I have my top albums of 2023. Y'all already know how I felt about this album. But this one's called Drink.
During the season, you're really stressed out, you're pressure.
Sure.
Some people are booing you, some people are screaming for you. And
it's tough, the travel and the night after night.
Bartender, can we get another shot?
of whatever he's having. Put mine on the rocks. It's like this, bro, the problems never stop. Don't forget we from the bottom, I see you at the top. Look, this shit can get more stressful than you think, cause you might just wanna quit, but you could be on the brink.
Whew. That album, man. That album's something special. Real special. Of course, I was rocking with Magic 3. Nas and Hit Boy.
All I see is blurbs, all I see is words. Nerds talking about what they did, see, or heard. And all I see is clones. See you motherfuckers with mixtape plans because they seeing how we moving. And all they say is this, but they ain't saying shit. They talk reckless when I do not work for them. They say come harder, come smarter, which one it is, which one you wanna hear since you such a music whiz. First thing I learned when I was coming up in age, when they stumble in your space, is to punch them in the face. The second thing I learned, I was in the second grade, sliding on the second base, I can orchestrate this game.
Yep.
The third I heard was if it quacks, it's a duck. The fourth, of course, just be upfront what you want. The fifth was this, keep something crisp on your wrist.
Magic 3, man. Larry June and Alchemist had an album together. This one right here is Palisades, California, with Big Sean. Man, Larry June was showing Detroit a lot of love. I don't know his connection to Detroit, but there's a lot of Detroit artists on this album. Over Alchemist beats.
It's not the old one. Run up on this Rory, I'm clicking until it's over. Still put a snow on a mission to Minnesota. Come on, you know the drill. Hop in and hand it over. I'm driving.
Real family type shit. Shine down. Hey. Look, if you not getting richer every year, then you just backwards hustling. You moving off emotion, I'm strategizing, discussing it. See, I've been on my supplements, fish oils, chlorophyll, motives, my hair growing out, and hoes loving it. Some people can't piece life together, it's really puzzling. Talking about, trust me, I got you, but I'm not trusting it. Commercial real estate by the Fox, yeah, they constructing it. Business flowing like the symphony orchestra, I'm conducting it. I crack my knuckles and now I'm back to new. I had to comp a bitch, we not compatible. Team on the line, yeah, the lovers all lateral. You cannot practice for shit that's not practical. Fuck with the tactics, this shit can get tactical. Fuck with the rations, this shit get irrational. I cannot talk to you just like them hoes when they mad at you. I overwork and do shit I don't have to do. Stumble and stagger through, dodge all the bullets and dodge all the daggers. Who working these bitches and
got another one with Slum Village. Yo, this right. Watch how T3 comes in. This is why T3 is one of the best to ever do it. He may not be lyrical miracle, you know what I mean, but not so many people can ride the beat the way that T3 does. Listen to this.
In the shower, thank Allah for blessing, die connecting. I'll be manifesting, had to apply the pressure. Civic Tesla, always with the bestest, had to break for breakfast. Slid through traffic, game of Tetris, little effort, curbside service on Bourbon from the higher crevice. Upper echelon, I done rose from the lower thumb, so I focus on getting sums. I'ma grow the funds, let me move along. I'm a dog.
Young RJ goes crazy too. So yeah, man, the Larry June and the Alchemist, The Great Escape.
In a dose, something is close. Avion, might hit a lick, setting the mix. Money coming quick, light up the rest. Heavy on, gotta keep it on me, sunny or stormy, I'm man it on.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
I might want to skip this one.
For All Dogs, Scary Hours 2 edition. Who would have known? Drake gave us that hibbity hobbity, man. I had to. I got that hibbity hobbity that I was worried about, that I was waiting on. It may not have been on the original, but it came through, and it is what it is, man. That's Drake at his finest.
Beliefs tested, my faith broken in half. I try to joke and I laugh, but I just don't know how.
get on my nerves that I be hating, cause I don't know what purpose it serves. If it's not a letdown, it's somewhat of an inconvenience. I know all my peoples who go through this are in agreement, who be staying out the way.
So this one's called Last Nerve. It's Elzai and Oh No. Heavy vibrato to close it out for my top albums of 2023. Honorable mention, we have Everybody Good, Black Milk, and Round Trip, Static Selector.
I'm just trying to get home. I'm sick of incidents like this that makes me think I should ride around with chrome.
We want to take? I don't worry.
This is Black Milk. Feelings Don't Feel with Mick Jenkins. It's an honorable mention.
What to do when the feeling don't feel new?
And then
Static Selector.
another honorable mention is Round Trip by Static Selector. And of course, this is Round Trip with De La Soul. For Dave, of course. So that was dope. R.I.P. Dave. So yeah, man, that's my best albums of 2023. What am I looking for the next year? Great question. So what do I want to see for 2024? I want to see some new things. Right? Who doesn't? Right? Who else wants to see something new? Of course. I think that I want to see. I think I just want to see. At least locally, I want to see. There's been talks, right, about like the Detroit hippity hoppity versus the Detroit street, which I've kind of talked on in brief, somewhat delve into. But I'd like to see that gap bridge further, bridge closer together. There's been talks about Helluva, which is a producer from Detroit. He did the T Grizzly First Day Out, but he also did Stretch Money. He did Takes Money to Make Money. So, he goes from there all the way to the new age, right? So there's been talks about Helluva kind of being a guy who's supposed to be putting out an album that 2024 with older Detroit artists and the newer Detroit artists all on the same album. So I'd like to see that come to fruition and really kind of bring everybody together. Because I'm honestly, when I went to that Hip Hop 50, Detroit Hip Hop 50 thing earlier this year, I honestly thought that I would see a lot more new age rappers. I didn't see any of them. None of them were there. It was all like Stretch Money was like the newest rapper of the people in the Hip Hop 50. So I'd like to see that gap, kind of bridge closer together. So, yeah, man. I'd like to see a little bit more DJ mixes coming from yours truly. Maybe start DJing shows again, DJing weddings and stuff, DJing parties. I'm gonna try to have a mix for you guys, end of the year mix, on this one here. So, yeah. Well, you know what? I hope you guys have had a wonderful 2023, and I pray that you have an extraordinary 2024 and that all your dreams that you're trying to accomplish, I hope the plan and the strategy to succeed reveals itself as soon as possible. I pray that you guys have nothing but blessings and early into the year and continued on into December. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Man, I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited for what we got next. I'm excited for what we're about to do. I'm excited for you guys, for us to have more interactions, more interviews, or an interview at all, is what I should say. Man, this is, like I said, I'm excited. I appreciate you guys for listening, for rocking with this one. I'm going to try to give you guys some more mixes before, like what I call the kids go back to school or people go back to college and stuff. Hook y'all up. Comment on everything. Like I said, GameCube that dude on everything. Comment, like, subscribe. That way you won't, you'll know when the next episode drops, especially because I'm kind of inconsistent right now. So, or sporadic, I should say, because I feel like I've been a little bit consistent considering I give y'all the precursor. A lot more consistent than I think I expected myself to be from the beginning. But, yeah, man. Happy New Year. This episode of the MC Nerd Jock Show was brought to you by the United Negro Podcasting Guild of America, where we be podcasting. This episode was recorded at an undisclosed location in Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan. Edited in an undisclosed studio in New Baltimore, Michigan. All episodes of the MC Nerd Jock Show are brought to you by GC Productions. You already know. The intro and outro of the MC Nerd Jock Show are produced by none other than the legendary producer Slumber Logic. Yo, I just want to take a second. I would be absolutely remiss if I didn't say rest in peace to Amp Fiddler. A true legend in Detroit, a true legend in hip-hop, a true legend in funk, a true legend in soul, a true legend in neo-soul. Of course, those that don't know, Amp Fiddler was a part of Parliament, Funkadelic with George Clinton. He was a musician in the band and toured with them for many years. And then when things kind of settled down, he moved back to Detroit and was working on music still and set up a home studio. And he was right off, 7 Mile in Kona Gardens. Some local kids heard the music, knocking on his door, asking him if he made music. And, he graciously took on the role of the godfather, or like an uncle type that was going to keep these kids out of trouble. And really, in a time in the early to mid 90s in the city of Detroit where things were, at the end of the crack epidemic. So it was real out here. Amp Fiddler took on Jay Dilla and taught Jay Dilla how to use the drum machine. So without Amp Fiddler, I think Jay would have eventually found his way, but part of the reason why Amp Fiddler was able to even teach Jay Dilla that is because Amp Fiddler was on the list with MPC, which I think is what Lynn makes that. He was on the, he had like one of the first 5 ever made. So he had that and already had experience on it, and he was able to teach Jay Dilla. So I just wanted to, I couldn't, We lost him a couple weeks ago, actually like a week and a half ago now. And I would be remiss if I didn't at least take a second and acknowledge Amp Fiddler and his legacy when it comes to music. So just want to end with a little bit of this song called Through Your Soul with Amp Fiddler, Bubs Fiddler, and Jay Dilla.
If you gotta cry, just